is a myth that the world's best smoked salmon comes from Scotland or Norway. In fact, many of the world's most renowned chefs from New York City's best hotels and restaurants order their smoked salmon from right here in the heart of the countryside at the base of the Catskill Mountains, some 80 miles north of Manhattan. This is the home of Catsmo, the Catskills Artisan Smokehouse, the producer of what many feel is the ultimate in fine, fresh smoked salmon. Here, practically every day, 2 tons of fresh fish arrive from Scotland or Chile to begin the process of being smoked to perfection for patrons who demand the very best.
There is many smokehouses, but there is not too many who get the same quality product that we do. Not because they couldn't, but most people, unfortunately, goes for the cheaper product, supermarket price conscience, and they give up quality for price. And we are one of the rare ones who don't make any compromise. So quality comes first.
What do you do to ensure the quality of your product?
As a good chef would tell you, they can make good cooking without good ingredients. So for us it's the same thing. We have to start with good ingredients. And our main ingredient is the fish. So we have to ensure that we buy the best fish available. The fish has to be fresh and have a good texture. To have a good texture, the fish has to be raised in cold waters. So that is why we need to buy fish different places in the world according to the season.
You know, where do you find these fish? I mean, you search the world for the best.
We buy a lot of fish from Scotland, and in the summer we buy it from Chile, where it's the winter in Chile. It gets harvested, gutted, and sent by plane overnight. We cure it right away, and it's all fresh fish. As a matter of fact, when you will travel through our plant, you'll see you don't smell fish at any point. We treat between 1 ton and 2 tons of fish a day, and you cannot smell fish. And that's because the fish is fresh.
I've been working now with Catsmo for 16 years. I think it's the best smoked salmon existing. First of all, is the quality of the fish that makes a good smoked salmon. And I think Catsmo picked the different grades of salmon, but they really picked beautiful fish. So the salmon can be too fatty, has to be in between. And then a light smoke, so they use different woods. I mean, when we start working with them, we really tell them what we needed. The customer when you eat smoked salmon, you don't want a too smoky finish. So you want it really light. And the salmon wants to be creamy, and has to be delicate, and I think that's what they offer here.
Our fish is silky and moist. A lot of the smoked fish you find in the supermarket are dry and pasty, so like when you eat it, it sticks to your palate. I did some tastings where some chefs said, I don't eat smoked salmon, and I begged them to try it. And a few people said, look, you know what, this one I would eat, because the texture is so different.
Good smoked salmon is Catsmo. It's a fantastic company. We have a great partnership, more than 15 years now. So the company delivers a consistent, fantastic, fresh product, which we really appreciate, and then our guests, they love the product. So we are included in many of our dishes. The quality of the salmon is incredible. It's very fresh. The texture of the salmon, it's really buttery and had great flavors. Good food doesn't need to be complicated. You just need the right, great, fresh ingredients. So which makes at the end the flavors, and food has to be delicious. So again, it doesn't have to be complicated. And Catsmo salmon is one of the amazing products. So we love to work with. And they are again have a consistent quality, and which we really appreciate.
First step that happens is the purchasing of the fish, where Robert actually has gone and visited most of the farms that we buy from, and we can have direct contact on what is going on. Certain places feed the fish with other bases that are not natural to salmon, and that we don't want, because we know as soon as we smoke it and process it, we'll see immediately that the fish has not been fed the way it should have been. So that's our first step of finding where the best salmon is for Catsmo. And from there starts the process of buying the fish on a weekly basis. And we receive about 3 times a week fresh salmon in the plant. And we start processing right when it comes in. We open the boxes, and take the fillets out, see that everything is correct, that it's cold enough. It doesn't have any smells, of course, because fish should never smell. It should be fresh. You should open a box and it should have the smell of fresh water, almost like if it was clean. Any hint of smell tells you there's a problem. So that's the first step. And then we start by the curing. The curing process, which is where we're going to add salt to the product and at the same time remove part of the moisture of the product, which is crucial. We don't put anything else in the salt. So the only thing that we depend on to make it a long shelf life is the salt and the smoke.
And I understand you have different flavors of smoking as well.
We have different cures and different processes for different customers. And between the smoking, the curing, and all the other processes that we do at the plant, we bring out a custom product to those customers with what they wanted. If they wanted it smokier, they want it saltier, they want it with a flavor, and we work on all those products.
This is a batch of cured salmon who come from the curing room. It has been salted with yesterday, and we're removing the salt, and the fish is now cured. So it's like cooked by the salt. On every one we put the time where the salt has to be removed.
Right.
So as soon as we put the salt, we know when it's going to be removed. Once the salt is removed, we're finishing removing all of it with water to make sure that the curing stops.
Right.
Okay, and then we dry it, and the fish will be ready to go in the smoker. The fish is now loaded into the smoker. This is the machine to remove the skin. Once the skin is removed, we have to remove the black meat, which is the fat of the fish, and then the fish is ready to go into the slicing machine. This is the slicing machine. So we put the fish in the slicer. It advances automatically. It gets sliced in the middle, and it comes out sliced on the other side.
One of the key things that is so critical here, I understand, is your emphasis on cleanliness.
Every day that I wake up, I say to myself, today might be the day we get inspected. And that's the way my philosophy is to be not just ready, but it's a daily thing. Be like you are an inspector. I see the plant every day. So some things sometimes don't come to mind right away. Inspectors, in my view, often help us do things better for our plant. They give me advice to say, well, we don't like this. This should not be like this. And then we correct it, and we make, it's another pair of eyes that comes, plus they keep you up posted on the new regulations and so on. So,
as you look back on it, are you surprised at how successful this operation has turned out to be?
Am I surprised? Yeah, I'm surprised, but I mean, it doesn't amaze me that all the work that we do and how we communicate with our customers. In a way, yes, it's surprising. It's beautiful that we got to where we are, but there's a lot of work that goes behind it to make it happen that way. And, it's a wonderful thing.
And there you are, the very impressive story of Catsmo, the Catskill Artisan Smokehouse, considered to be the key to success for many memorable meals at some of the most renowned restaurants from Manhattan to the Napa Valley, and Chicago to the Caribbean, and many other points in between. I'm Doug Llewellyn reporting from Wallkill, New York.